But I hope my hobby, I can say in the future, is I learned to play some basic ukulele.
Yo, you should. I got a ukulele once. Started learning it. Yeah.
Did you learn how to play it? You know how people used to have the string in their shorts?
Yeah.
My finger got caught in the string. He went one way, and I didn't go that way, and so my finger went quick.
Oh.
And so I had to get that one stitched up. We stole Jabba the Hutt, and we put Jabba the Hutt on our front porch. And we just left him there. And nobody ever said a word. And it was probably...
Hi, welcome to Pester the Professor. This is a show where we get to know the D&P professors outside of the classroom. We will be right back right after this.
Hello, I am Leilani.
I'm Jordan.
And today we are here with the 8 a.m. Mayhem, Terry Cunconan.
Woo. Hi, Terry.
Hello, thank you, welcome. Appreciate you guys having me. Hope that I can have an engaging conversation with you guys today.
Oh yeah.
So Terry, our first question, who are you? Tell us who you are.
Yeah, so my name's Terry Cunconan. I don't take myself too seriously. I figure life is more fun that way. I've been around here a long time. I used to be chair of the department for 5 years. I oftentimes tell people I took a wrong turn. My wife and I took a wrong turn about 25 years ago. I think we arrived in town in 2000 and we've been there ever since. So my wife teaches in the English department. I teach in the communication department. And we've raised 3 kids. We just got our last child out of college. And so yeah. I'm just living my best life. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping with the softball team. I've kind of stepped away from doing that a little bit. Do some high school basketball officiating and umpiring, and try to have really good movement patterns. Which just means I love to exercise.
Nice.
Nice.
A lot more than I thought. All right, so big question. Why 8 a.m.?
Yeah, so why 8 a.m.? Because I want teaching to be a challenge. And I know students don't want to take an 8 o'clock class. So for me as a teacher, it makes me want to create a class where I can create an engaging environment for students. And I want them to know that, hey, we can show up at any time, and class can be entertaining and can be in a learning environment. And I'm just kind of a morning person. I'm a lot more productive. I feel like I have good energy in the morning. I just would rather be involved and be active in the morning. Kind of have a routine at our house. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. I always wake up about 6 o'clock, right? So me and the dog, we get up. We make some coffee, and my wife and I, before every day, we always have a cup of coffee together on the couch. Just kind of talk about the day, kind of talk about our kid. You know, we're great problem solvers between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning. Have our coffee, and then we go on the way, and I'm ready to roll it at 8 a.m.
Does this mean that you can't solve problems after 7:30?
Well, you can. It's just, you know, we like to think we're really smart with our cup of coffee in the mornings, and you know, we don't really share what the problems are. We just think we're good problem solvers in the morning. Usually we're talking about our kids, or you know, about something else. And we have a black lab, and of course the dog knows right where to go. So the dog goes in the couch and just lays between us, and we have our coffee. So it's me, Debbie, and Finley. Finley's my dog's name. We just kind of hang out on the couch every morning, and you know, I've got a cup of coffee in me, a cup and a half. I'm ready to go at 8 o'clock. Jordan probably knows. I'm coming to class with a lot of energy.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, you're like a ball of fire at 7:30.
Gotta be, right? So yeah.
Yep. So this next question, I personally think you can learn everything you need to know about somebody. But what is your favorite shoe?
My favorite shoe.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Thank you.
My favorite shoe, currently my favorite shoe, it would have to be some sort of tennis shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the black and white Nike Cortez, right? The original Nike, that would be the shoe. If I was shoe, it's a little bit retro. It appreciates the past, but has enough going on that it can function in the future. And so it's the Nike Cortez, black and white. I'd also go, maybe I could go dark green and white also, but it would have to be that shoe.
Wow, I love how detailed that was.
Yeah,
that was great.
Let's see. Well, continuing with the shoes and the colors of the shoes, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is probably green.
Yeah.
Green's probably green.
Yeah.
I had when I was growing up, after I was in high school, I always wanted a certain kind of car, and I wasn't able to buy it because my dad, there weren't parts for it. So I ended up getting a green Volkswagen Bug. And I don't know if you know what the original Bug looks like, but this was like a 1970 Bug, and it was green with white upholstery. It was a stick shift, and so I've always just embraced color green.
Do you have
I guess I have green on today, kind of, or shade of green.
Do you have a specific,
teal, turquoise, yeah.
like dark green or light green? Any
Dark,
specific?
yeah.
Dark green.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's a
Alright.
good green.
Gotcha. All right, so if you were to pick an animal that you want to be, or an animal that would describe you, what animal do you think that would be?
Animal. So, I'd say I would want to be the wolf.
We've
Yeah.
had that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you?
Someone said
Yeah,
wolf.
Joe said wolf.
Yeah, I think the wolf. I mean, the wolf is a cool animal. The wolf is, the wolf is majestic. The wolf is, it's courageous. It can be always think of the movie Dances with Wolves, the old Kevin Costner movie where he befriends the wild wolf. Wolf has a little bit of wildness in it, but a tamed wolf is really just a dog, right? So yeah, I'd say wolf. I'd say that there's a little bit of free spirit in me. There's a little bit of wildness, but there's that polish that you need, and that wolves. I think that they can be both. And I just think that they're very. They just walk confidently. They just present confidently, and so I always want to be able to do that.
Yeah, I can definitely see that in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of tagging along with the animal, we have decided on every professor what we think if you're a black cat or an orange cat. So what do you think? Are you a black cat or an orange cat?
Do I think I'm a black cat or an orange cat?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a dog guy, first of all, right? So cats, man, they got too much of their own persona. I mean, I'm like a dog. I mean, I want to live my life like a dog. Like, I want to be unconditional. Dogs, cats just got attitude, right? So I would start there.
Got that dog
so if I
in
had to
you.
have attitude, I'd probably want orange attitude.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what we said.
okay.
Yeah.
We
It's
said
like
you're
there
an
was a
orange cat.
correct answer.
Yeah.
You got it.
What's the difference between an orange and a black cat?
I feel like orange cats are like, I don't know the full meaning, but they seem like more like squirrely, or they have like more energy to them.
Okay,
Seems
yeah.
maybe a little more creative, but like
Yeah.
black cats are kind of
Just,
like more hidden away.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Then I think I'm spot on. I'm definitely
Yeah.
orange.
Yeah.
But I'm a dog versus a cat all the time.
Well, if you were a dog, what kind of dog would you be? Can't say a wolf.
No, I can't say what. So interesting story. So my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter just got dogs, and they got them out of the same litter, and they're half Bernese Mountain Dogs and half Black Labs. So they're these very cool. They have such a great person. I would probably be a lab. I'd probably be a lab, and I could be any color lab, but I got to be a lab. Swim a little bit, got the
Yeah.
web feet. Just good with kids, all that.
Yeah,
Nice.
I can see that.
Next one.
Yeah. Unless you want me to ask it.
Are we still going with our? Okay. What's your favorite hobby?
Hobby. So, man, I don't know about hobby. So one thing that I really like to do. So, really love sports. So anything that's related to sports. I've started to do a lot of. I do a lot of high school basketball officiating. So in the wintertime, I'll maybe 3 nights a week I'll go to around the high schools and I'll officiate basketball games. I also do some umpiring of softball games. So I would say those are probably hobbies. Certainly, I love to exercise. I like to ride a bike. I like to go to the beach. If you ask me, beach, mountain, I'm definitely a beach guy. But I have some fears related to the water, but I love the beach. So, but I would say anything outdoorsy, anything activity related. I have a ukulele. My kids left a ukulele in the house, and so I'm like, I think I might learn how to play that. So this was about a month or so ago. I watched a YouTube video. I'm like, I could do this, right? And then I figured out I play left-handed. I'm left-handed, and the ukulele I have is right-handed. So I'm like, well, I could buy a left-handed ukulele, or I could just try to learn it right-handed. So I started one day just to try to learn, and they say you learn the basic chord. So I gave myself 2 lessons on the ukulele. I haven't been back to it since. But I hope my hobby, I can say in the future, is I learned to play some basic ukulele.
Yo, you
That's
should.
fun.
I got a ukulele once. Started learning it. Yeah.
Did you learn how to play it?
Kind of. I only know how to play Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but we could
That's
do a
the
ukulele
easiest song. They say
duet.
that's the easiest one you should play.
Yeah. Did you learn that one yet?
Nope.
Oh.
I didn't get that far. I got to two chord. It was 2 afternoons. I spent about 30 minutes, and then still sitting down there, and I look at it. I'm like, Terry, you told somebody you're going to do this, so
You should just bring it to work with you.
That might be my next hobby.
Okay.
Just bring it to work.
Yeah,
You're
you
just
can
in class,
exercise
like, hey,
and
guys.
play the ukulele at the same time.
I also
Right after your
have one
class.
other hobby. I created an app.
Mhm.
You created an app?
Yeah.
Like made
so,
it
So I have an app. Well, I didn't do all the programming
Oh.
part, but I had the idea. So I
Okay.
paid for this guy to make me an app. And what this app does is it captures. It's in the App Store now if you want it. It's called At Bat Tracker. And what it does is it tracks an at bat, like a softball or baseball at bat, and it tracks the location. And so what it does is just a tool for coaches and players to get feedback, because what I argue is that 2 things matter most when you're swinging a bat: the location of the ball and the counts that you get in, like 2 and 1, 1 and 2. And so I'm in the business of sort of modifying this app. I have an email campaign I've sent out now. I'm trying to get some people interested in it. It's free to It's free to download. I also created a little website. I have a website called Shucker, which is it's a sports consulting website.
Now, did you make that one, or did you have somebody else make it?
I made the website, and I came up with a name because
Okay.
somebody gave me this hat, and it's a AA baseball team. They're called the Shuckers. Do you know what a shucker is? So a shucker, I didn't know this either. So a shucker, like oysters get shucked, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
I was
Okay.
thinking of like corn.
Yeah,
Is that what
or
it's called?
corn or corn shuckers. So, but mostly you think about oysters. So what people who shuck oysters, they have to pull it apart so you get to the good stuff. So my whole premise of my website, of my business, is based around shucking. That in sports and in consulting and mental well-being in sports, you have to peel back the layers to get to the good stuff. So I have this thing that's described on my website about shucking, about what it means, and that was the whole premise of my business. So I've kind of started that as just started that in the last couple of months. So that's
Wow.
probably another hobby.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you said, I don't have any hobbies. Or you said something like that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
It sounds like you have a lot.
A lot of hobbies.
Probably several.
You've talked a lot about liking sports. Do you have a favorite?
Do I have a favorite sport?
Yeah.
Well, I've coached softball for a lot of years, but my favorite sport's probably basketball.
Do you prefer to coach a certain sport over the other?
I really enjoyed coaching softball. So I've been I've coached with the Jennies for the last eight years. So I really like that, but probably basketball is my favorite sport. Played a lot of basketball growing up, and so I love college basketball. I told my wife and I we're going to go to Vegas. So this is what I want to do. I want to go to Vegas. The Wednesday before, if you know how March Madness works, the Thursday and Friday start. I want to go Wednesday evening and fly into Vegas. Wife and I, maybe some other friends, right? And we'll roll in. And then Thursday and Friday, I'm going to watch games and bet on games all day long. Maybe have a beverage, I don't know. And then, so Thursday and Friday of the tournament, they're the best days for sure. And then Saturday, because I'm not a fan of Vegas, is once you're there and you're there for a couple of days, and then I'm out of town. So, we're gonna go Wednesday, stay Thursday, Friday, and leave Saturday. And she can do whatever. She's not gonna be. She'll probably hang out the pool or do whatever she wants to do. But so college basketball. Sorry.
Nice. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had flying, you could go straight to Vegas.
Yeah. Superpower. If I had a superpower, it had to be something with my eyes.
Okay.
Eyes are the key to everybody, right? So the superpowers. So I'd be able to see through everything. I'd be able to see. I got to be able to see beyond the wall or to see through things. So my superpower would have to be tied to my eyes. I say that because I have really bad eyes. So when you take out my contacts, I can't see. Right? I mean, I'm legally, but I can't drive a car without my contacts in, right? But the superpower would be tied to the eyes, and that you could see and you could read people's mind, but it'd all be the eyes.
So are you reading
That'd be
people's
cool.
minds, or are you seeing through things?
All of it. You
Just
could
all
do
of it?
anything you can do with your eyes, but you would like the eyes would be your super. If you could lock in, like you have those when you have a radar, you can lock in on something. Once you could lock in, I can see what Jordan's thinking,
Okay.
or I lock in, I know what's behind that wall, or I know what's over that hill, right? I could see it. Yeah, it would be the eyes.
Okay,
Superpower.
nice.
That's
Like
really cool.
every
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say like every superpower has to have a downside. So if you can't lock in, you can't just like pinpoint the thing that you want to see. Would you still go for like what would you call it? Super sight?
Yeah, I would still go with the peeps.
Okay.
See, I would argue that I do have elevated hearing though,
Oh, okay.
because I'll tell you a story. So my hearing was always elevated because I was born with bad eyes, but they didn't figure it out until I was about 6 years old. I was in a kindergarten class, and in class they'd have this thing where the teacher would flash a sign, and you get to take a step forward if you said the item first, right? So teacher back there, she'd show something, and I'd yell lawnmower, and it'd be like a crayon or something, and I was just throwing things out. So teacher calls home and says, hey, I don't think Terry can see. He says things that just are nowhere close to the picture. So sure enough, they checked my eyes, and I had bad eyes, and then I get these glasses, and I'm walking around like this because I can't see. I was like, this is the way the world works. I couldn't see for 6 years, and so when you can't see, you rely on other senses. So my sense of hearing was always heightened, and then it made my eyes really magnified. Right, so then and then my mom put me in tinted glasses. It used to be, and then I could burn ants on the, if you like in the sun, I could burn a bug. That's how bad my eyes were or are. Yeah, so that's why I want my superpower to be my eyes.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. I definitely feel like there's been times in class where somebody will like ask a question quietly to like the person next to them, and then you'll answer it, and we'll go, how did he hear that? He's all the way across the room.
Yeah, it used to be better. I think age might be catching up with me, but I've always had really good hearing. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
And that's because my eyes aren't very good.
Gotcha. So do you have any weird or hidden talents that you're willing to share?
No, I mean there's no real weird. I can't straighten my finger, if you notice that. So this finger doesn't straighten.
Wow.
So I was playing basketball one day, and I went to throw a ball, and my finger went, and I'm like, wow, that isn't good. And so I didn't want to quit playing. So my buddy Kip, he just said, let's just tape it up. So we taped it up, and I taped it up, and it stayed straight for a while, right? And then over time, the tendons have separated. So it doesn't hurt, it just doesn't straighten up.
Oh.
I got it. So I went to get it fixed, right? So I'm in this place, I was at the doctor's office. They make me wait about an hour or so, and I'm like, I gotta go. He clearly wasn't there, there was nobody there. I'm like, I'm not doing this. That was about 6 years ago, so I haven't been back yet since. So it's not really a weird talent, it's just that one's a little messed up too, but.
We got some funky joints. My
this
finger
one
goes
actually,
like that.
I got caught. I was playing basketball. I got caught. I was trying to go steal a ball, and I got caught in how people used to have the string in their shorts?
Yeah.
My finger got caught in the string. He went one way, and I didn't go that way, and so my finger went, and so I had to get that one stitched up. I've had some really, here's what happens is I have really fast, quick hands, and I'll tell you something, as you get older, when you lose your physical everything will slow down, but your hands don't slow down. And because my hands are so fast, I've got my hands in a lot of trouble. So, but it's the thing that stays the longest. Like you lose you can lose some of your fast twitch, you can lose some of your speed, but your hands stay with you the longest. And so I've had so it's not a hidden talent, it's just a problem I have. I've had quick hands.
It's just a problem.
Hidden talent, getting hurt.
Do you have any hidden talents?
It's probably that exactly, getting hurt.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I don't think I have
Nice.
any hidden talents. Yeah. Do you?
I can pop my thumb out. That's kind of my go-to hidden talent.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
See, there's nothing I
is
can
this
do
not-
like that.
Wait,
Yeah, you
Huh?
can do it. Or like,
can you pop your thumb?
No.
you can't.
Like right here?
That joint?
No, that looks like it would hurt to me. I don't have
Your
any.
pinky looks like it hurts.
It doesn't, and most people don't notice it. But once I tell them, then everybody starts looking at it. They're like, "Yeah, look at him talk. You can see his finger." Right? It doesn't. It doesn't.
You said it's just normal.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh my god.
you would never know if I didn't tell you.
True.
So I'll
Yeah.
just keep it covered up now, so you won't stare at it.
I mean, I probably wasn't gonna stare at it. It was just I was like, huh, thinking about like, I don't know.
Yep.
Interesting.
Wait, is it your turn or mine?
I can go. So we kind of ask this with every professor, but do you have any crazy college stories that you can share?
That I want to tell you guys.
That you're willing to share?
Okay, so I'll share one with you. So I made my way around the Big 12. I went to Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and University of Oklahoma. So I started as a undergraduate at Iowa State, and I got my undergraduate degree there. And every spring they do this thing. It was called VISHA, and it was an acronym for the 7 or 6 colleges. It was veterinary medicine, arts. Anyway, it's spelled VISHA. And there was a big event. It was a big three-day event, and all the fraternities, the sororities, and everybody made floats. And so somebody made I guess it'd be Star Wars float with Jabba the Hutt.
Mhm.
So one day we thought, me and my buddies, we lived in a house, about 5 of us. We thought it'd be a good idea to steal Jabba the Hutt off the float. And this was all, we stole Jabba the Hutt and we put Jabba the Hutt on our front porch. And we just left him there. And nobody ever said a word. And it was probably as big, it was big. And it was painted up, and we just ripped it off the float and
Do you still have
put
it?
it on our front porch, and people would just honk and Jabba, and so just kind of became a fun house. It was the Jabba house.
Do you still have it?
No.
No?
No.
How long was it up there?
Well, this happened in the spring, and it stayed there all summer until the fall, until we moved out.
Oh wow.
So nobody ever messed with it. They're like, that's kind of cool.
And the people who made the float never came looking for you?
No, there was a lot of. Shortly after that, a year or two after that, they stopped having the parade. It was getting a little violent. People were doing things like that. So I don't know if we started the whole problem, but VISHA, no, they don't really do VISHA like they used to at Iowa State anymore. It became kind of became a drunk fest, and kind of became a place where just the campus and police didn't think this would be a good event. So.
Yeah,
That's
probably started
understandable.
from you.
I don't know if
You
it started
started
from
it.
us, but we just like Jabba would look good in our front porch. It was one of the porches where it had it was open and you had a big rail, and so he fit well there. So
Nice decoration. He's like part of the house now.
yeah,
Part of the family.
family.
He was part of the house.
Wow.
I love it. That's great. I wish I had like a full size like Jabba the Hutt to put
Yeah.
on my porch. I
That'd
don't
be
have a
cool.
porch actually, but
Put it in
if
the
I
window.
did, yeah. Oh
It's
yeah, I
always-
could put it in the window.
It's always in the window.
Let's see. College stories. So every kid had big dreams. What was your big dream? What did you want to do? Your career.
Yeah, so I wanted to be a couple things. I wanted to be an NBA basketball player. Of course,
Yeah.
at 6 foot, that was never going to happen. But and my first job that I ever wanted to be a firefighter.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wanted to be a firefighter, and it's funny because my son is a firefighter now.
Oh.
So, but yeah, I don't think he knew I wanted to be a firefighter when I was a kid. But that was I wanted to be 2 things. I wanted to be a pro basketball player or a firefighter. And so, I had a little rim outside the house, on the driveway, on the garage, and I was out there all the time. I'd go in and watch a little basketball, come out and shoot. And I grew up in a cold part of the country, so, after a while the ball would stop bouncing, the air would, and I'd just stay out there and shoot and back and forth. So,
Nice.
yeah. Between basketball and firefighter, that was what I wanted to be. My grandfather, he was a volunteer fire chief, and so I don't know if that had something to do with it, but anyway, those were the 2 things that I wanted to be.
Nice.
Wow.
And here I am.
Yeah. What
That's
happened?
awesome.
Yeah, well, I didn't grow,
happened?
and I wasn't a good enough basketball player, and I don't know. I just lost the desire to be a firefighter. That wasn't long after that. That was a very young dream.
Okay.
So I don't remember like in high school saying I wanted to be a firefighter. It was just when I was a young kid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at least that's what I can remember I wanted to be. I don't know for sure.
Nice.
Fair enough.
What did you want to be?
I want to be a veterinarian. I really
Yeah.
liked animals, but I feel like every other, kindergartner wanted to do the same thing. So I was like, well, I want to do that, and then I wanted to do art, and then I was like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, and then I started with cameras. So
Gotcha.
the animals.
I heard they're starting these things. Hey, have you heard about there's daycare now? They're called animal school, or no, farm school, where instead of preschool, there's several people that I know up in Kansas City where they two days a week their kids go to what's called farm school. Okay, think about that. So they go and they get to be out on farm, and they get to like carry a chicken and eggs and do all these and it's called farm school. I think it's really cool. It's like preschool, but it's on a farm. And so you go from like 8 to noon, and they do all these things, and kids learn about the farm. And what a great idea! They're outdoors, and they get to do all these things. In fact, my wife and I on the couch this morning were talking about this. This was part of our coffee. This is what we sports school, not a farm school, sports school, 4 hours a day, and you get you have to have a little bit of land. You get like AstroTurf. Mm-hmm. And you get a little field goal, and they get to kick field goals, and maybe they can play soccer and mini basketball goals. And so you just have sports school for 4 hours. So you could choose sports school or farm school. And it's like preschool, except you're not indoors all the time. You get to be outdoors. You get to be doing things. So I told you we saw problems. We thought about starting a sports school to go along with farm school.
It's actually a really good idea because kids just have all this built up
energy. Yeah, they have all this energy, and you just make it fun. You're not trying to be serious. You just, like, who wouldn't love at a young age, you got a little mini goalpost there, and you just get to kick the ball, and it goes through the goalpost, and you get to kick a soccer ball around, or you get to throw a mush ball around, or you get to, run around. I mean, just all the things you could create. Pickleball. You create a little mini pickleball court. I mean, it's sports school. 8 to noon, 2 days a week, you'll sports school.
Okay.
Other 2 days a week, you go to farm school.
But farm school.
That's a real thing. I'm sports school. I don't know if they do it, but I know there's farm school going on. It's going on outside of Kansas City. Have you heard of it? Yeah.
For no reason in particular, if I went to farm school, would I be able to leave farm school with a cow? For no one in particular.
No, I don't. No. I mean, these kids are only 4 or 5 years old, but they learn to be around chickens and different kinds of things. And I've seen pictures. They all get their little work boots on, and I just think it's pretty cool, man. And kids I'm going to farm school. Go let them get muddy and go let it.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Well, if I can't leave with like a little cow.
Yeah.
You're not going?
No, I don't think you can leave. But you might. If you ever choose to have kids, and you're going to have kids, think about farm school.
I like that.
Sports school.
Sports school.
If that's a thing.
Are you going to be the one running it?
I don't know. See, when it all said and done, I mean, I'm going to leave here. We're going to move we're going to move somewhere else, and so but we'll have to figure out what our next thing is.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe it'd be sports school.
Open up a sports school after you retire.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
so this next question is getting a little deeper. I feel like we've kind of been just on the surface. Okay. But what would you say is something that either in your career or just in your life holds you back?
Has held me back, or does?
Just does. Or even something that you've overcome that has.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I had a pronounced stutter, right? And some people believe it was because I couldn't see, right? But I was a stutterer. And when you're a young kid and you're a stutterer, and you're in middle school or grade school, kids are cruel, man. Terry, you would get some of that kind of stuff. And so I always wanted to do things where I'd get a chance to speak or to communicate or to talk, because I always wanted to work through it. And so, every once in a while I'll still stutter and stammer a bit, but I really, as a kid, I really struggled with that. And so that was something that I still think about. I'm still sensitive to when I see kids that have that. And it's not easy, because the word, you want to say the word, and it just doesn't come out. And one of my coping mechanisms was I became very good at finding the alternative word.
Oh, wow.
So what your mind does is if you say something like you want to say and you can't get the word out, you look for a synonym, and then the word comes out. So yeah, that's probably awesome. What I'd say is one of the things.
That's really cool. I love that.
So that's what held you back. but what makes you go forwards? What gets you up in the morning?
What gets me up in the morning?
Besides the coffee.
Yeah, that I really I try to live with contentment, right? I'm not chasing anything. I don't really chase anything in life. I think life is about it's not a sprint. I see so many people want to make life a sprint. Like I see young people want to graduate early in high school, and I'm like, why? Why do you want to do that? You know, and everybody wants to get full. And I'm like, just think of your race. It's a long race, and don't sprint. Just, you know, and take time. I mean, one of my favorite things, whenever I need to, I drive a Jeep, and I love just outdoor. I love being outdoors, open air vehicle. But I guess what gets me up in the morning is I just like being slow. I have a scooter also. I don't know. I have a little scooter. Okay, it only goes about 30 miles an hour. So it's 49 cc's. You go downhill, you can tuck, you maybe get to go 32, 33. But my scooter relaxes me. It's like something, and I'll just get on it and I'll drive around town and I'll say, okay, I'm gonna stay on my scooter for 20 minutes and I'm gonna try to notice something in this town that I've never noticed before. Like somebody's back porch or a house that's been redone. And so the scooter makes me slow down. I tend to walk fast. I tend to move fast. I like to get up every day and just say, you know what? It is a race, but it's a long race. Don't run it like a sprint.
Just take it slow.
Yeah.
So by kind of like getting up and saying, don't rush to move forward, and slowing down actually helps you move forward in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep. That's what I'd say.
That's smart.
I'm gonna remember that forever.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about that every single day I wake up. Write that on the wall.
Clever. Yeah.
Yeah.
We get such in a rush, and I see it with young people, man. They want to get through school, and they want to get through high school, and then they want to do this, and then they want to do that. I'm like, it's all gonna come, man. It's all just run the marathon. Don't run the sprint.
Wow.
That's what I'd say.
Wow. What would you say is kind of tagging along with that? What's a strength that you have, just kind of like involved in your life and in your career?
A strength that I have. I think I'm good at making people feel comfortable. I don't ever, I teach the Dale Carnegie. I don't know if you guys know anything about the Dale Carnegie class, but it's really a human relations kind of course. And one of the things that I think is really important is the strength. I don't ever want to treat people in any different kind of status way, right? That I think a strength of mine is like, I want to treat you as I always want to. We all should be treated like this. I don't want to act like I'm better than you. I don't want to ever act like I'm inferior to you. So I always want to treat people with a sense of that. So I think I do a good job of making people feel comfortable in terms of that way.
Yeah, I would definitely say. I know that when I took your class, about halfway through the semester, I think like I missed an assignment or something, and I had to make it up. And you were like, oh, just come down to my office. And I was prepared to walk in and be like, hey, I'm Jordan. I'm in your class. And you called me out by name before I even got through your door. And I was like, wow, Terry knows who I am.
Yeah.
That's great.
You were a little quiet, but I know who you were. Yeah.
All right. It seems like we don't have too much more time, but...
Man, you guys have talked a lot, huh? I thought, well, okay.
Yeah, we're the ones who talked. Just kidding. But what is a piece of advice that you would like to close with? Just for anybody, whether it's a student or just even in general, even if they're not a student, you know?
Yep.
That's
so always be confident.
Okay.
Learn where your comfort zone is. One of the things that I wear on my wrist, this is a green band, right? Not because green is my favorite color, because green signifies that you should go. And so what I say to people is that always know that in everything you do, remind yourself that you have a comfort zone and an uncomfortable zone. And this reminds me, anytime I get into a situation that I gotta play green or I gotta live green. And green means the more that I can get comfortable in my uncomfortable zones, the smaller my uncomfortable zone becomes, right? It was in a book. The name of the book, I'm trying to think of the name of the, I forget what the name of the book is, but it talks about, it's a sports book, but it talks about playing green. And so my thing is you should live green, right? And that you should try that, know that you all have your comfort zone, but don't spend too much time in your comfort zone. You have to live green. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And so it just reminds me, whenever I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I see on my wrist that it's time to shrink my uncomfortable zone. So I would say that would be my advice, is that work to shrink your uncomfortable zones. And by default, that will make you a more confident person.
That's
I
awesome.
like that.
That's really
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
I love
smart.
that.
You got a lot of wise words. Comfortable, uncomfortable. I like it.
That's exactly why I wear the band. I don't tell anybody unless they ask. It means nothing except it's a reminder to me to be confident.
Wow.
Nice. Stay confident, stay comfortable, and stay uncomfortable.
Yep.
Well, Terry, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I thought they're really, really good questions. They're thought-provoking. So yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Wow. Thank you so much. And thank you all so much for joining us. This is Pester the Professor. We'll be back next week with a brand new professor. So join in to see who it is. Bye.